All right, turning to mental health. There is a loneliness epidemic growing across the country, and American social life is on the decline. 1 in 5 millennials report feeling lonely and having fewer friends. And it's not just young folks. No, it is also adults. And COVID-19 is partially to blame, but that isn't the only reason. And Jess Weiner, cultural expert and host of the Smart Girls podcast, joins us now for more. Jess, welcome back, Jess Weiner. And let's talk about this, right? This is something that is pandemic related, like many things in our society right now. But there's also some more things at work outside of just the pandemic. Explain.
Yeah, good morning, Calvin. I would say that this friend drought that people are reporting, and you said it very well, it's not just young people or the millennial generation, it's boomers, it's Xers, it's all of us. And I think one of the big runoffs from the pandemic that we still have to be really conscious of is our routines changed and our values and priorities changed. So I'll start with the routines. I think obviously, we haven't been in school and work as regularly, so those friend groups diminish, but also our values changed. A lot of things happened for folks over the last couple of years. And so what we are drawn to or attracted to or what we have mutually in common can change as well. So I think it's important to give context to these stats that what's happening, yes, is part of the pandemic, but it is also part of all of us recovering from a great disruption of our lives the last couple of years.
All right, Jess, I often ask this question, no matter what the topic is, it seems it could be something very serious, something small, but social media, Jess, it is a factor of our life now. How much is the social media at play when it comes to folks feeling lonely or folks maybe not having many as friends as they used to?
Well, Kelvin, it's a great question because it's a tremendous impact on all of us. I mean, oftentimes we are looking at each other and each other's lives through screens. And so social media does a couple of things. For younger generations, which this is their normal, this is how they have friendships. So I think for us who have not grown up with social media, we have to be really conscious of remembering that there are real friendships on social media for younger generations. But what can happen on social is we tend to be voyeurs into other people's lives. And so we're often assigning values and ideas just to images that we see. And on social media, we often preface large friend groups or we see people, hanging out in mass now. And I think oftentimes that can give us a lot of FOMO. We fear of missing out of something. And I think the other part of social media is that we're not always our most authentic selves on social media. We're often curating the best parts of our lives. And we know to create real authentic friendships, you have to show the good, the bad, and the in-between.
Jess, I think you can relate to this. We've all had that moment where some people in your social media friends or folks you're always sharing memes or having a relationship, then you see them and you're like, it's weird because I never met you in real life. You're like, hey, you at 106 Brown, it's like, who are you in real life? What about married couples? Are we finding that they're less lonely or are they maybe, stable in their friendships?
Yeah, I mean, I think that married couples by far have been leaning on each other more during the pandemic. So I would imagine these are make or break moments for us in long-term relationships, whether married or not. I think a lot of the studies that we're seeing around loneliness and friendships, though, really are about our school groups, our work groups, and our outside the home relationships, which we know have been disrupted so much over the past couple of years.
All right, so we got less than a minute here, Jess. I want you to give us a couple of things that folks can do. They're saying, man, I find myself in a friend drought or a little lonely. What can they do?
So 3 quickie things. I think 1, just remember to focus on quality over quantity. Focus on those 1 or 2 folks in your life that make you feel really seen, heard, and understood. That's a definition of a good friendship. Not the amount of times that you get to see them, but how you feel when you see them. And most of all, Kelvin, if you're thinking about that friend that you haven't talked to in a while, take action. Text them. Leave them a voice note, a voice message. Move in the moment that you miss them. Those are the building blocks of friendship in this new post-pandemic world.
Jess, you bring up a great point there, that reacting kind of when they're on top of mind, do it because, then you'll get consumed again with work and, things going on. So make sure you shoot that text, that call, that email. Jess Weiner, thank you so much. Make sure you check out the Smart Girls podcast. New episodes drop every Wednesday, everywhere that you get your podcast. You have me, folks. I'm your friend. I'm here for you.